Hey everyone, it's Jordan here, back again with this week's update on all the physical releases coming to the Switch. We're in the third week of June, the 20th until the 24th. Remember, once we get to 100,000 subscribers, we're giving away a Nintendo Switch OLED model. This episode is sponsored by Tokyo Treat. Yes, Tokyo Treat is a fantastic monthly subscription service where each month you get a box absolutely packed to the brim with the latest Japanese exclusive snacks and treats. June's theme is Snacking Shibuya, one of the best places to experience in the city. If you want to be cool, it is the place to go, and it's got the food to go with it. This month's box features an assortment of treats, and I've already got my eyes on those Kit Kats, pudding flavor, yes please, and caramel popcorn soda, oh mama. Stick with the show as me and my daughter are going to dive into these treats a bit later on. If you can't wait and you want to order for yourself, then check the link in the description and use our discount code SWITCH to save yourself a bit of moolah from your first order. Thanks to Tokyo Treat for sponsoring this episode. Firstly, I'd like to thank all 1,000 of you who went over to A Bit More Jordan last week for its launch. I think you pretty much all enjoyed the video over there, although there was a bit of a hitch on Friday when YouTube nuked the channel. Yeah, they accused me of spam and deceptive practices and deleted everything, which kind of ruined my entire day, but after an appeal they realized they were wrong, so I did get it back, but I think it definitely took the wind out of the sails for the channel. So if you didn't head over there yet, please do me a favor, go there and check it out and make my day a little bit better. It's good, I promise. Alright, this week's games. Capcom Fighting Collection is a fine looking collection of old school Capcom fighters back when they made fighting games that weren't only Street Fighter. Yes, 5 games in the very well loved Darkstalker series, 2 Pocket Fighter games, which I'm pretty sure my dad had one of them on the Sega Saturn, although that was before I was a real sentient person, so that memory could very well be fake. I have no idea. Real memory or not, it was pretty awesome. You get 1 Street Fighter, you get Cyberbots, and Red Earth. I've never heard of those 2 before, but there's robots smashing each other up, so it must be amazing. I know many people are excited about this one, especially with the online rollback code and all the extra features. This is only at retail in North America, sadly nothing in Europe because Capcom Europe absolutely suck balls. There's import links below for Europeans, but it is worth taking a look at a special release in Japan, since that game is getting a special bundle with another game, which I'll get to a bit later on in the import section of this episode, so hold your horses before you hit the buy button. Now Capcom, how about a Breath of Fire collection? Or Power Stone, just port that PSP collection over. It's amazing, people need to experience it still. And our executive producer Boombox has chosen this as his pick of the week. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 hops. Yes, if I have a beer, it better be made from 3 different hops. Sorry, I'm just really struggling for jokes this week, really badly. This is releasing this week, yes, another big Nintendo title the week after Mario Strikers. I guess they're trying to cram things in before the big end to the year with Xenoblade, Splatoon, Pokemon. Anyways, sure, this is a sequel to Three Houses, but it's set in an alternative timeline because I'm sure a lot of shit went down in Three Houses, and maybe it's best to wipe the slate clean a bit. I'm keeping my fingers crossed this is better than the original Fire Emblem Warriors, which I know a lot of people claim was the best Warriors up till that point, but I very much disagree. I mean, it's fine, but I didn't particularly enjoy it, and I like both Fire Emblem and Dynasty Warriors, so yeah, that went quite wrong for me. And our executive producers, Parsnip Coffee, JCross7776, Precision Plague, Vey, Alexander Kato, God of Resin, and Issa have chosen this as their pick of the week. Wreckfest is releasing this week on the Nintendo Switch. Let's just hope it's not a complete Wreckfest in terms of the ports. Actually, I heard some people got their hands on this early and said it was a nice port overall. This is basically Destruction Derby if Destruction Derby was actually good. Harsh words, but I'm specifically talking about the original Destruction Derby, which for me is the ultimate nostalgia goggle game. I have massively fond memories of that game, but I played it very recently and let's just say it's absolute shite. No offense, the sequels are much better, but this Wreckfest is probably awesome. I mean, it's called Wreckfest. They nailed the name. How metal is that? You can almost hear the crunch. AI, the Somnium Files nirvanA initiative, is releasing in North America this week. Europe has to wait a couple of weeks for logistical reasons. Yeah, Numbskull are nice, but they always tend to be a little bit behind their North American counterparts. Funnily enough, the European digital release was delayed too to match the physical release over there, so if you're wanting to avoid spoilers, just stay off the internet for 2 weeks. Except for watching this video series, don't forget to watch that, and my other channels, don't neglect those please, okay? Stay off the internet except for my channels. Very much appreciated. This is a sequel to the first game, who'd have thought that? A game that a lot of people liked, a bit of detective work in a sci-fi-like world from the mind of the creator of the Zero Escape series. It's more about the narrative, definitely within the realms of a visual novel as long as you're not being a massive pedant. Maybe we'll have a review for this over on VN Paradise at some point, but it's not planned as of yet. And our executive producers, Raven Knight, Robotech, Thorn Metal Luna, Alexander Cato, Cartoon Soren, and Jennifer M have chosen this as their pick of the week. Pocky and Rocky Reshrined is releasing at retail this week in the West. Yes, this has been out in Japan a good few months already to critical acclaim. Yes, as remakes go, this is one of the finest there's ever been. They really didn't hold back with the exquisite artwork, the redesign, and really fun hardcore run and gun gameplay. Check out my review if you want, but I'll say if you enjoy old school arcade games, this is absolutely essential. But as I suspected in my review, the Western version is censored. Yes, children, avert your eyes from the mild cleavage. How dare you gaze upon the melons of life? What? Yes, one of the big booby goddesses is covered up a lot more in this Western version, it's just dumb. I did jokingly suggest that my grandma may be the boss of the Western publisher, but I did double check and I can confirm both grandmas are deceased, so whoever's grandma is currently the CEO of In Games or Natsume or whatever, tell them to get their wrinkly arse back to the care home because we want to move backwards. I mean, seriously, if you go backwards, very, very far backwards, look at Greek and Roman art, you couldn't move for the damn cleavage. Let's go back to that time. There were no prudes back then. If you do like boobs, you can get the Japanese version, which is not censored, for a reasonable price. Links are below. All profits from this false outrage go to my daughter getting good ice cream. She thanks you kindly. And our executive producers, Instacritic, Elissa, Jonathan Rumor, and Kadacha have chosen this as their pick of the week. Fort Boyard 2022 is releasing in Europe this week, I think. I don't know what's going on with the series. There's about 5 of these on the Switch right now, and they all look the bloody same. Good luck finding the difference. Male Mole should be releasing in mainland Europe as well, if it's not already. This looks to be a 3D platformer collectathon, which I'm surprised to say looks pretty decent. Very nice indeed, probably one for kids, although don't be angry at me if you buy it and it turns out rubbish. Find reviews first. Alright, the Low Prince Blade Runner Enhanced Edition is the release that's gonna make my money go to limited run for the first time in about 2 years, I think. I can't remember the last time I bought something from them. Maybe Papers, Please. I think that was the last thing. And before that, that was aeons ago. But yes, I am a big Blade Runner fan, and I've always wanted to play this adventure game that was thought lost to the ether. I guess I'll receive it in about 1.5 years' time, but for me, I'll suck it up just this one time. That's if they don't cancel my order. I know for a fact that Limited Run do have a small history of blacklisting people who are known to be troublesome in the community. We'll see. And our executive producers, Brent McLean and Viz, have chosen this as their pick of the week. RAIDEN 4 Cross MIKADO Remix and RAIDEN 5 is going up for pre-order at Limited Run Games. Yes, this is a double pack of games that already have individual releases, which is a bit weird, but I guess one of them is really quite expensive these days, so it might be a decent option for those who have neither shmups in their collection yet. Saving on shelf space at least, and the wallet, well, it is $50, so it's not exactly cheap, but cheaper than buying them singly. Is that even a word, singly? If you currently own a physical release of RAIDEN 5 in North America and you are hoping to make a profit off it, now is the time to dump it on eBay because that price is going down. You can pre-order this on the 21st. Alright, the imports. Remember, if anything takes your fancy and you'd like to import it for yourself, then consider using the links below in the description and the pinned comment. If you click those links and buy something, you also support myself and SwitchWatch at the same time. Thank you ever so much. Plus, in return, you can get 5% off any physical item from PlayAsia if you use our coupon code Jordan. Yes, that's me, Jordan, for 5% off. And don't forget, free shipping over $100, as long as it's a reasonable size. Capcom Fighting Collection. The Fighting Legends pack is really the only interesting thing going on this week, and I mentioned this earlier on. This package contains that game, the Capcom Fighting Collection, in a special sleeve which also houses Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. This has been released in the West before, but if you don't already own that, it is a nice way to add 12 Street Fighter games to your collection. From the original Street Fighter, yeah, it was crap, all the way up to Alpha and Third Strike, many of them with online play. I'm surprised they didn't add belt action in there too. That would have been great, but sadly, that's still an import exclusive as well. And our executive producer, Punky Dooster, has chosen this version as his pick of the week. In Japan, there's also 3 VNs without English. Here they are. Read them right now, because I ain't. And before we go into the community spotlight, we need to take a look at some Tokyo treats. Alright, let's take a look at this fabulous Tokyo treat box. It's blazing orange, like the sun this month. And yeah, during delivery, let's just say that the 40° centigrade China summer heat had its way with some of the more chocolatey based snacks. But that's not going to stop me from munching my way through these Kit Kats. Yes, let's get them out of the way because I want to eat them right now. I don't technically know what pudding flavor actually means. Pudding is it's a genre to me, not a flavor. The manual says custard, which when it comes to inventions, let's face it, custard is the greatest one of them all. So yeah, I can't wait to just completely ruin my diet for the next 5 minutes. Can't wait for this, it's gonna be glorious. Alright, let's move on to the Puku Puku Tai, or as I like to call it, the wafer fish. My daughter loves animals, so why not make them into snacks, especially one with a lemon flavor. You know how the saying goes, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Give Jordan's daughter a lemon fish and you have a very excitable child. She did let me taste a little bit, and it is very much a lemony flavor. I've still got the tongue in my mouth right now. It is really lovely. If there's another thing my daughter can very much appreciate, something in her half-British blood, it is biscuity stuff. She's learning from her father some of the more finer things in life. Today we have some biscuity sticks over here which are called Pocky, which the manual claims to taste like German potatoes. That's a very specific claim, and as a non-German, they just taste very Moorish to me. They're good. Hints of bacon, an onion, wholesome. We also try some corn puffs, well, my daughter did. Now I am going to embarrass myself here since I'm not sure how to say it properly. My English Yorkshireman brain is saying pottage, but knowing this is a Japanese snack I want to say potage. Either way I sound like a moron, doesn't matter which one, choose one. But these are lovely creamy snacks for kids, so I'm told. I didn't eat any of them. Why not wash all of it down with some soda, and this... Last month we had some kind of funky soda, it was really nice. Now we've got some extra funky soda because when I think of soda, I think of caramel popcorn. Now I am going to try this on air. I haven't tried this previously. Look, you'll hear this, hear the tss. See, I haven't tried it yet. This is going to be less sexy than last time, I promise. Wow. Actually kind of tastes like those Kit Kats. I am in the cinema. I am currently in the cinema right now, watching the latest movie, whatever the latest movie is. Did you watch the latest movie? I watched the latest movie. I'm watching it right now. It's a good movie with some really funky, nice flavoring soda. It's fizzy pop. It is fizzy pop, not soda. Come on. And finally this week, some strong cola Jumbo Ramune. These live up to their name with the strong cola. These are flavored sweets with a big fizzy cola kick. Even opening the package is probably going to be heaven for the cola fiends out there. Maybe a bit too much for my daughter at the minute, but I don't mind chugging these down with a bottle of soda at the same time. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Two's enough. They're actually really good. Very, very refreshing. And there we go. We'll take a look at more next week. Sorry, I've got some fizzy cola in my mouth. If you want to order your very own Tokyo treat, consider using the link in the description to support us. Plus, don't forget our discount code SWITCH to save yourself a bit of cash. Alright, the community spotlight. Excalibur sent in this photo showing off the very Japanese version of Pocky and Rocky. I mentioned it before, the uncensored version. It has a better logo as well, if I'm being picky. I don't care how authentic the Western one is, it doesn't look very good compared to this one. Anibal sent in this photo showing off a triple helping of Mario games, but for me, the more interesting titles are in the back row. I'm very interested in all three of them, even if I own Ni no Kuni 2 digitally already. Can't resist the physical. Aaron Peterson sent in this photo. Beyond the Steel Sky has some very Blade Runner vibes going on with that box art. I think I like this box art more than the official limited run Blade Runner box art. Seriously, I mean, this is better. They should have used this. Executive producer Cartoon Soren picked up these bunch of games, including the very obscure European exclusive El Dorado Creatures. Apparently based off a toy line, it's a strategy RPG type game. Chris Stade picked up these 3 games, one of many no doubt to have picked up Mario Strikers. Probably not going to be a big seller in the US, but I think this will do very well in the European market. Hudo sent in this very cultured photo of a VN that does not have English, and one less cultured VN that does, Star Melody. Still waiting for opinions on this one. Executive producer Instacritic picked up these. Rainbow Billy just popped up out of nowhere. I know a lot of people messaged me about it, but I kept forgetting to mention it. Give it a Google search if you want a copy. Executive producer JCross7776 got in Hero Must Die Again Collector's Edition, which looks very lovely. I can't even remember this one having a Collector's Edition, but here it is. Executive producer Jennifer M sent in this photo, which includes Cupid Parasite, a very highly rated Otomi visual novel, very colourful and fun if you're into the genre. Joshua Brown sent in this photo of some pretty good titles. Is that BlazBlue the one that Limited Run randomly did years after the European release? I don't remember very clearly. McLaren sent in the Super Edition of Metal Max. I think this was from Funstock or something like that. It looks really good, the game too. I'd be all over this if I had the chance and the money. Nick King got in the Retro Edition of Phoenotopia, which is probably Premium Edition Games' best release thus far. They'll have to go a long way to beating this one. Looks fantastic. Park Ranger sent in this photo. Wonder Boy Returns. Shock horror. It didn't take a year and a half to send out. Maybe Strictly are improving their efficiency. Executive producer Robotech got in these, including Demon Slayer, which I heard got pretty good review scores for the Switch version, with only a small mention of performance issues, so that's a good sign. Psych Villain, thank you ever so much for your donation and your message. They sent in this picture of Infernax, which has some badass artwork. The more I look at this, the more I want it. Steven665 sent in this photo. They picked up the Korean version of Breath of the Wild expansion bundle, which is great news, the most complete cart there is. Executive producer Vey, our man in Japan, did the very same. He said he bought it at retail price over there, but there weren't many of them left. And he got in the collector's edition of Overlord. Please go watch my review of that if you haven't already. It was quite popular, did decent for a review these days, but that's what happens when you're the only channel that covers it. No doubt it'll get crushed by other later reviews that have gone up by the time this video goes out, so go watch mine. It is a good game, and it's a good review, I think. Alright, let's have a roundup. And by the way, these past few months, I've stopped keeping track of who I put in the main bit and who ends up in the roundup. I used to try and make it balanced, but in order to keep my job just that bit less of a chore, nothing like admin work to take the fun out of it, I did stop. So if I end up putting you in the roundup like 3 times in a row, do let me know, and I'll try to make it a bit more balanced for you next time. Gemini, Black Star, Needless Dragon, Milkman, Cypheria, Mickey McFlynn, Golbat Lover, Elandara, Garzilla, Vast Neon, Darkur, Chew It, Sarah Baker, Metric Magic, Glass Jazz. Alright, send me your pictures on Twitter, So What About Game. You can DM me or tag me in a post and use the hashtag Let's Get Physical. Email address switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com, and our Discord, the server link is in the description. You can post your pictures there in the submissions section once I've opened it up. I do lock it from like a Saturday to Monday, it's locked, or maybe to Wednesday until somebody reminds me to open it up. And also, yeah, just one picture per week, please. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Get Physical. Not the funniest one I've ever done, but you know, sometimes there's nothing there to say. Thanks to our executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Jonathan Rumor, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, J. Crod, 7776, Elissa, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Issa, Vey, Mental Traveler, Grantsert, Viz, Jennifer M, Instacritic, Precision Plague, and Kadacha. Plus you, yeah, you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, please leave me an emoji of, let's have a look, what do we got this week, something to do with, leave me a pair of cherries in memoriam of the lost cleavage of the Western Rocky and Pocky, or Pocky and Rocky, whichever one it is. Yes, let's all honor the lost cleavage. Alright, please go check out some other stuff. Tomorrow we've got bargains on Tuesday, yes, and go check out my new channel, please. I really think you'll enjoy it if you have the time for it. Okay, take care, bye bye.